Welcome back to another episode of Shannon the Slayer. I have a super duper treat for you today. He is back. He is ready to rumble with a whole interview about his upcoming film, Wish. We have the incredible, the amazing Robert Massetti, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, Robert. How's it going?
Oh, I'm like herpes. They keep coming back. Okay.
No.
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 Well, thank you, Shannon, for having me back. Yes, it's a pleasure to be back. And yeah, awesome. It's always great talking with you. As you
Well, we're super excited to have you here. I know that you have been working on getting your feature film Wish created, and you put up an Indiegogo campaign, and I want everybody to know about that because, as independent filmmakers, it's really hard for us to get anything going by ourselves. We don't have the big following that we want just yet, but we're trying to create something special for all of our viewers and just make something worthwhile because, if you don't have the budget, you can only do so much. But if you had the support, you had the backers and the funds coming in to create something really good for people, it would help, right?
yeah.
And so that's why I'm super excited to have you here because I can only say so much, right? Because I've seen the process. I've seen you going through making all of the changes to the script. You've been molding it from day one to make it just completely epic. And I want you to tell your story and just basically how this vision came to life for you and why you need other people's help because, at the end of the day, like I said, I'm just the actress. I just act in it. So, I've watched you grow, but you are the man with the plan. So tell everybody, a little bit about the upcoming feature and what inspired the story for you. Like, just tell them all. Go ahead.
Well, as you know, independent filmmaking is very hard. Yeah, trying to gain an audience and trying to get people to support you is hard because one, you don't have any money, and two, you're not connected with named stars, and they're not familiar with you. On top of that, so it's hard to get people to shell out $15 or $20 for a Blu-ray of your movie when they know nothing about you and they've never heard of you before. So
Right.
it's difficult. It's everything's difficult in independent film, and um, yeah, it's just people are key to everything. I have always just concentrating on making movies. I've never really thought about the business side, and the business side of filmmaking is very, very important.
It's very
Um,
important. Yeah.
you know, I've made everything no budget my entire life. I've always, I should say, my entire life as a filmmaker. Um,
Right.
it's it's just trying to you're always creating, but you're creating for yourself. So I just wanted to, get more people involved. So it's not just, the actors, the crew and everything like that. It's also the fans. It's and that's why we did the Indiegogo campaign. It's, with the Indiegogo, yeah, we're getting funds for it, but we're getting the fans involved. And that's what was exciting about doing the Indiegogo campaign. It wasn't yeah, it was like, great, if we could raise money that way, that's awesome, instead of, doing the regular investor route. But
Right.
Indiegogo seemed to just a great way to get the fans involved indirectly to making a movie and then having their names on the movie for the life of the film. I mean, it's really cool. I'm if I wasn't able to make movies, I think I would do that. It just seems like a really, fun way to get involved with movies if you don't know anything about making movies. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
part of it. But
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
story, as your question was, the story. Basically, I've had this story in my mind for, I don't know, years and years and years. I thought it'd be very cool to have make a horror film about some kind of like demon or djinn that lived underneath the streetlight. It was just the visuals from that um, was intriguing to me, and so the story came from that. And this has just blossomed into something more than I ever imagined. When we did the short film of Wish, it was basically to show what we wanted to do with the feature. So it's not the exact storyline that when you see it, which you can see now on YouTube on the Fear Film Studios YouTube page. You can watch it now, and Shannon's in it. She does a fantastic job, and
Thank you, Robert.
it just that's where you can get an idea of where we want to go with it. It's going to be completely different than the short, the feature length version is, and that's basically why we made the short, was to show people, hey, we can make a movie, and we can make a decent movie, and that was made for a very small budget. So like I said, we did the Indiegogo campaign to see if we could raise money. I've seen other filmmakers raise a lot of money,
A
and I'm
lot of
like,
money.
if we could do that, imagine what we could do with, making feature films continuously and bringing that to the fans and building our fan base.
It
Um,
would be incredible.
but
Absolutely incredible.
and but that's the hard part, it's trying to get people to dive in and take
Yeah.
the chance, because everyone's in tune to Hollywood films. They're like, oh, that's the only films I can watch because they're readily available. And there isn't a lot of outlets for indie, films, except
And
now.
not only that, it's hard for people to, let go of their money because they work so hard for it, and,
Well, that too,
it's
yeah.
it's one of
It's
those things,
tough.
it's hard.
It's tough. And that's why we have a wide range of perks available. And even if you wanted to contribute just $1 or 2, you can. You don't have to get any of the perks. You can just contribute.
Or
And
even just sharing the link, right?
or
Like, that's a huge help.
share the link.
Huge.
Yeah, share it with your friends and family. I'm sure you know people that are horror fans and maybe love
Uh-huh.
independent horror. That's the great thing now about Tubi, is that Tubi has a plethora. I mean, I've never seen so many independent horror films on a platform before. Tubi has it all, and the great thing is a lot of the films on there, on the independent horror films, had played at my film festival. 'Cause
Oh, what?
yeah, I go on there all the time. I'm like, oh, that played at the festival. That played at the festival. I mean, I literally could go on there and pick out about 30 films that played at the festival.
That's cool. That is cool.
So
And, while you're on that, what is the name of your film festival? Just so everybody knows, because 'cause you've had it for quite some time, and actually, that's how we met.
yes,
I was a part of the submissions, and that's how we became best buds.
that's
So tell
right.
everybody about your film festival too.
Yeah, I run the Freak Show Horror Film Festival. We're in our 19th year, coming up to
19 years.
20th anniversary is coming up next year, which is going to be
Oh,
very exciting.
snap.
So
And you're going
basically,
through all that stuff too right now.
yeah,
You're like watching submissions, and you're trying to do all of that while you're doing the campaign for Wish. Now,
yeah.
how is that for you? Like mentally, like, cuz I know there's a lot that goes into both of these things.
Well,
How you doing?
add into the mix that I'm also writing the script. I'm writing the script,
Oh,
trying to promote the Indiegogo campaign, and trying to get the film festival together, which is coming up in a matter of weeks as we record this. So, yeah, to say that I'm overwhelmed, yeah, I'm there. But I
oh,
love it.
you,
I love every minute of it. It's this is what I love to do.
yeah,
If I didn't have to work a full-time job, it would be a lot easier. But yeah, I also work a full-time job on top of all the stuff that I'm doing. So I'm working, 24/7 pretty much. It's
yeah,
crazy. Literally I got maybe 4 hours of sleep last night. I was up at 5 o'clock this morning trying to do all this stuff related to promotion and building the website and all this other stuff. So it's hard. And then, I go to bed, at 11, 12 o'clock at night,
yeah,
working all the way up there. Sometimes I work until 11, 12 o'clock at night, and I still put in a couple hours before I go to bed.
yeah,
It's
absolutely.
nonstop. I get up in the morning. I work in the morning, not my regular job, but I work on all the stuff in the morning, and then boom, I go to work.
Yeah.
So,
Yep, yep. Downfall of being
so
a creative.
if you
But
want to
hey,
be a
I'm proud of
filmmaker,
you for
yeah,
continuing on. I mean, that's what you have to do. You have to just keep
it's nonstop.
going no matter what. You have a vision, you got to do it. So, your primary goal with the Indiegogo campaign, what would that be, and how are you utilizing the funds for the campaign? Like, what is the main thing that you're like, if we can get this, we're going to be able to make an epic film? Like, what is it for you?
Well, we'd love to get like 100,000. I've seen filmmakers get 100,000, $200,000 for their campaigns. Uh,
Yeah,
that would be incredible because that's typically like the prime budget for an independent horror film or any independent film. $100,000 is pretty reasonable. It's not a lot of money in terms of making a film, but we could do a hell of a lot, and that's pretty much be able to pay people.
oh,
I've never been able to
would be
pay
nice.
anybody on my films, and Shannon knows this. Um, but that's a lot of people that we work with. That's not the main concern, but it is for me. I would love to pay people
I
for
understand.
their time, you know, and people are investing their time into the movie because they believe in the project, and that's great. That's awesome. But
Yeah,
we'd also like to pay people the special effects that we'd like to do as far as the makeup effects for the creature. We want to really go all out. If we
yeah.
get the money, we'd be able to really do a excellent creature effects.
I know. You have,
Char,
like,
our makeup
char. Yeah.
artist, would just knock it out of the park. I know she would. I already
She's
got.
amazing.
You can see some of the artwork, conceptual artwork on the Indiegogo campaign for the gin, and it would be really exciting if we could make that happen. That's
It
part of the
would.
reason why we want the money. And then, of course, shooting with better equipment, we could rent some really nice lenses. So I'm looking at these 40 to $50,000 lenses that would really add to the look of the film. And it's just different things like that go into the project, feeding people and transportation, and then maybe you know, getting some name actors attached to the film. I mean, we
Be
have
awesome.
Harry Manfredini, who's going to score the film. If you're not familiar with him, he did the score for the original 1980 Friday the 13th. The
So cool.
kill, 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 die, die. That
Yeah.
soundtrack is iconic.
Oh,
And
man.
I am so excited to be able to work with him. It's just incredible.
And
Um,
how did you 2 get, like, connected, and why did you reach out to him, or was he like, "Hey, let me know whenever you're working on a project, Robert, I wanna be a part of it."
yeah.
How did that come to fruition?
Well, I through the film festival, I gave him a lifetime achievement award. This was like back, I'd say 2009, 10. It was early 2000, maybe even a little bit later than that. Anyway, so that's how we met, and kept in touch. And every time a project comes up, he's like, I'd love to be a part of it and all this other stuff. And I'd be like, great, but I'd love to be able to pay you, but we've never had any budgets to pay. For you to take your time and make the music that would be incredible for the film. So that's another reason why we did the Indiegogo campaign. I'm like, we need to pay Harry and all the actors and crew that we want part of the thing. And here's the thing, and this is another reason why. When you're an independent filmmaker and you're doing no budget work, people are excited at first. They really want to be a part of the project and want to start working on film. And a lot of times you're getting people that never worked on a movie set before. Now
True.
they get onto a movie set and find out that we're working, 10 hours, and a lot of it's boring because we're setting up lights and the camera and, rehearsing with the actors. And it can be boring to someone that really isn't into it. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
people are interested, but they're not really interested in the complexity and the intricacies of making a film, which are quite boring. They're not like being on a Hollywood movie set where you got, 100 or 200 crew on there. There's always something going on. It's, you're sitting in a corner, it's on drinking some water with a bag of chips and waiting for the next shot. Not glamorous at all. So
It's true.
I have found that after that first or second day of being on the set, I lose a lot of crew members. And that's where I really learned how to make movies because I had to
Flaky.
learn every aspect of making movies. So it's like, okay, I lost my sound guy today. So now we have to rig a pole and, get the sound right. Oh, I don't have a camera person. So now I got to run the camera, direct, run the sound, and fix the lights, do all that stuff. So I've learned all that because I can't rely on the fact that these people aren't showing up because I'm
Mm-mm.
not paying them. And I don't
Yeah.
blame them. I'm not paying them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's part of the why it's so hard to make independent films. It's like, okay, yeah, let's make this movie, but now includes work. Oh crap. I don't know. I don't know. This isn't work. This isn't for me. And the next day they don't show up. In fact, I've had actors do that too. And
Yeah.
again, now I got to start over. I already shot all this footage and this person isn't showing up anymore for what, this reason or that reason, whatever.
Yeah.
Again, I don't blame them because I'm not paying them. So that you could see the dilemma, why it's so hard to make independent films. So
Right. And that really sucks, because you put your trust in somebody and they're excited to be a part of this project, and then all of a sudden day comes along and you're supposed to film so and so for this scene, and
that was
they just never
that was my
show. They
first movie.
never contact you, let you know, or maybe they do let you know and they're like, "Oh, sorry. Not coming in."
That was my first movie. First day of shooting. My
Oh,
first
I've
movie.
had it happen
My
too.
main
It's
actor my main actor does not show. We got everyone there. Main actor
Yep.
doesn't show.
Oh,
Luckily
it's a nightmare.
luckily, one of the, my friend that was working on the production with me, he just goes, "Oh, I've acted before. I'll act. I'll do it." I'm like, "Okay,
That's cool.
you do it."
That's cool. Yeah.
And
I
that's
mean,
how
you
we got
gotta
the
do what
movie
you
made.
gotta do. You
Yeah,
literally have to do what you
yeah,
have to
you
do.
gotta be on your toes and figure out and have, backup plans to the backup plans to the backup plans to
Yes.
the backup plan.
Yes.
And even
Y
then, sometimes it doesn't work out.
Yeah, but sometimes it can work for your benefit. Like, when we were shooting, my first feature film, actually, one of the actors did back out on us completely, just was tired and said no more, and, he was one of the main characters, so we had to kill him off, and it worked perfectly with the
That's a
movie,
good way
but,
to
we
do it.
had to do
Yeah.
what we had to do, so I totally totally understand. It sucks, but it can work for your benefit sometimes.
Remember that. If you don't show up to your set, you'll get killed on a movie. Yeah.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Kill you off.
Instant death.
You're like, "What happened to Jeremy? What happened to I haven't seen him in a while." "Oh, he was run over by a car." "Really? Oh my god."
That's
Dun,
right.
dun, dun. That's the
That's
real
right.
yeah.
I mean, it does make it fun too. Like, especially if you don't have to do a lot to kill somebody off. It's
It's
just
not fun for the filmmaker, it's not. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's another
It's
headache. The filmmaker's concentrating on all this stuff and is like, "Oh my god, now my actor isn't showing up. Oh, what do I
yeah.
do now? I got everyone else, and I need
Yeah.
this person, the one person to show up that I needed the most doesn't show up." That's bad.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's like, "Let's take a drill and let's drill my brain out." That's how bad it is. It is unbelievable.
Exactly. I know. It's like, oh, it's stressful. It
And then
is stressful.
and
That
then
is the
people
key
go,
word.
"Why do you make movies?" I don't know. I really don't.
I
Why
don't think we're
why am
sane. We
why
are
am I
not
putting
sane
myself
people, Robert.
why am I putting myself through this torture? Why? Why am I
So
doing all
much
this?
torture. Financially, emotionally, mentally,
Yeah,
all of it. Yeah, it
I could
is.
I could
It
be driving
is.
a Corvette right now, just working a cushy job, but no, I decided to become an independent filmmaker, and now I
You
drive a
chose
Kia
this
Soul,
life.
and, I work a full-time job that I hate and all this other stuff just so I can make my art. Yeah.
I
Glamorous,
know.
very glamorous. Yeah.
Uh, you know, you're living your dream. You're
But
getting there, right?
I
You're
get to
getting
meet
there.
fantastic people and, Shannon, I would never have met Shannon if I didn't become a filmmaker or run the film festival, and there's all kinds of, people that I've met, that are
Yeah.
so fantastic. That's always the benefit of working in the arts. You meet such incredible people, um, and then you get to make
Yeah.
art with them, and it you that's where that's where everything comes together, and you're like, "Oh, that's why I do it." Because I'm working with these great people, and And then when you see the finished product, yeah, you went through a lot, but you really appreciate it because you went through a lot. You really appreciate that film, and that it just I can't underscore the feeling you get. And it's like when I released my movies on YouTube, and this has just been recently. I just released a lot of my short films on YouTube, and seeing like It Waits do 10,000 views, and all the comments and people reacting to the movie when I was like, I don't even know if this movie works, and
Right.
everything's working in the film. And I kept watching it over and over, going, "Wow, I guess I did a good job on it."
Aw.
And you don't have that as a filmmaker. You don't get that. You don't know until the audience sees it. And I've never had a big enough
Right.
audience see my films until I released them on YouTube, and I was just like, "That's satisfying. That's really cool." If anything,
Yeah.
if I can't do feature films or whatever, but I'm going to. I really like, YouTube, to have people see my work because of the feedback that I get. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
dicks on there, yeah, that just wanna say stupid shit, but I'd say about 90% of the people, they give really good feedback. And
So cool.
it's not, like, "Oh, we're blowing smoke up your ass." It's like, "Hey, I really enjoyed it," or "I liked it for this reason.
Yeah.
This affected me this way." And that's really good feedback. So now, if I wanna make a feature, like, out of It Waits, I know it can make it because there's already an audience that's enjoying it. So
That's
that
true.
could be my
Yeah.
next movie because of that concept's working.
Oh,
And
that's
w and
cool.
and we're getting great feedback from Wish, the short film on Wish. People are saying that it's very well written. They love Shannon, and it's that's type of stuff where we go, "Okay, wow, all the stuff that we did, it's working. It was all the sacrifices we made was worth it." So that's why we make movies, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I completely agree with you 100%. A lot of the times it is the finished product, just seeing it finished and complete and just being able to look back and say, "Damn, that was a lot of work, but this is so cool." Like, just seeing everybody's hard work come together and just like giving something for everybody to see is just it's such a good feeling. And then meeting everybody on set and being able to work with them, it's just the coolest thing ever. So that's why we torture ourselves at the end of the day. I mean, that's it.
Well,
But you know what?
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no.
No,
Oh,
go
no,
ahead.
I was gonna say that it was really interesting to see because a lot of people that worked on the crew for Wish had never worked on a set before. They were just really enthusiastic about working on a set and learning about making movies, and it
Yeah.
and it seems really cool because the cast really hit it off. They worked very well together, and it was surprising to see the crew do the same. And it was like we've worked together for 20 years. It was like so comfortable.
Yeah,
And that's
it
why I
was.
think the performances show that because everything's so comfortable and just everything just clicked. It was God, it was just just a great experience. And I was like, that's what I miss. I miss that. Yeah, it was a long day, 11 hours, but wow, we got it done, and
We
we
got
turned
it
out
done.
great, and I just had the best feeling. I wasn't on set going, "Oh my god, we're not gonna get this done. Oh my god, this person's driving me nuts. Oh my god, this,
Yeah.
that, this." Nothing like that. Nothing. Everything just
Yeah.
worked like it was a fine-tuned machine, and I wasn't expecting that. I thought I'd be have to go, "Oh, you need to do this and do that." I told them one thing to do, and they did it, and there was no questions asked. They didn't have to because they just were like, "Okay, I got it done. Good. All right. I don't have to
Clicked.
worry about it.
Yeah.
Good." So now I can concentrate on making this movie, and that's was fun about it. So
Yeah, and that's why the extra help would be absolutely
yes,
amazing, so you could just worry about creating it versus focusing on raising the funds yourself because that's what you've been doing for years,
yeah,
getting, your
yeah,
equipment and just it takes a lot out of you just focusing on the funding
Well,
part.
yeah, and it would be, like, I wanted to get, like, a really good cinematographer. If we got their budget, a cinematographer would be great. If I could get somebody that knew what they're doing with lighting and get the lighting
Yeah.
I know a lot about lighting, but I don't know everything, and a professional cinematographer will really add to the movie. Um,
Mhm.
and
That and
and
sound.
and sound, a
Yeah,
professional sound person on set, and it adds. But,
it does.
if we can't afford it, then we'll find somebody that will do it. But, like I said, to get to professionals, you have to pay them.
Yes,
And if we're gonna bring
absolutely.
in any kind of name actors, we have to pay them. They would have to fly them in, put them up in a hotel, feed them, probably give them per diem and their daily pay.
Which
So,
can be starting out on the low end, what does that look like, Robert? Because I know you've contacted a few, and
could
I know
be
that a few of them have mentioned some
yeah,
daily rates. What are those?
sometimes it's $1,000 a day, $2,000 a day, and that's not including their flight and hotel and, you know,
Yep,
just to have a marquee name that might not just I mean, we'll if we can afford it, have them for a couple days, but more than likely it's just gonna be one day. Because even with $100,000 budget, we the let me explain something to you about business. So if you do an Indiegogo campaign, they take 5% right off the top. Now, you get that money, you have to pay taxes on that. So take 30% off that off the whatever you raised. So you're not really getting the 100,000. That's my
right.
main point. Um, the costs start adding up, and then you have to open up an LLC, hire lawyers, do all this stuff, blah blah blah, get a payroll company involved, blah blah blah.
Yep,
It's so basically, with $100,000 budget, you may be using 40, 50,000, and that's I could work with that, but it's still not a lot of money, and that goes
yeah,
by really quick when you start paying people. Even if you're paying people $100 a day, $200 a day, if you got 30 people on that, that's a lot of money. That's 30,000 right there. Boom, gone. Boom.
yeah,
That's
it's
not
insane.
it's not rentals that so my point is it's very expensive if you're gonna do a professional set and you want, a decent looking movie, um, it's gonna cost you, and, this is one of the reasons why we're doing it. We've done everything no budget. I've done everything myself. A lot of people are hiring editors. That's very expensive. I do all the editing. I have all the equipment for that. I That's why I bought all my equipment because I don't want to sit there and rent equipment and have to send it back and
Right.
then re-rent it, send it back, worry about somebody tripping and falling over the camera and then breaking it. I mean, that's part of it. I need insurance. It's
Yep,
a lot of stuff. And not to bore you with all that, but I'm just saying that's the practicalities of making movies, and that's why we're asking for such amount of money. And that's when I say it's not a lot. It's a
yeah,
lot.
no,
It's a lot of money, yes, but it's not a lot when you're making movies. There's so much cost involved when you get to that level. And
exactly,
that's
and
why
I'm
we're
glad that you told everybody that because it's true, they don't usually know, especially if they're not actually involved in the movie making process and they don't know all the little details that go into it. It's a good thing to mention, so thank you for sharing that because I think it is important. Like, I would if you know, if I were putting my money into a campaign or anything like that, yeah, as somebody who is very conscientious about financing, and I am very particular because my mother raised me well, and like, I'm very calculated person when it comes to my funds. And so knowing exactly where it's going is super beneficial because that makes me feel not only more secure, but confident. Like, because if I'm going to help you, I want to help you. I don't want to donate to somebody and then find out later on that it's going to something completely different.
right.
Like, say their Euro trip versus saving the cats. Like, I wanted to save the damn cats. I didn't want to fund your Euro trip. you know? So that's good that you mentioned that because, like I
Where
said,
did
not
you get
not
that
everybody
Lamborghini?
knows. Yeah.
Wow, I love the new car. That's nice. I thought you were making a
Exactly.
movie. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so that's super important to know,
Yeah.
and, going a little bit back, I'm backtracking a little bit here,
Yeah.
but and kinda not really, like, backtracking in my mind, but this is completely new and a little random. So, do you like Back to the Future?
Oh, come on. I love Back to the Future.
Okay,
That's
okay, good,
great.
we could still
The
be
whole
friends.
series is great. Fantastic. I love it.
I mean, if nobody likes Back to the Future here, I'm sorry, you have to click
Yeah,
off,
well, yeah.
go away. This is for Back to the Future loving people only from this point forward.
I I
No, but
I
seriously.
met, oh, now I forget her name, but she was the girlfriend of Michael J. Fox. I met her, at a convention,
Oh,
and
cool.
she gave me, 'cause in the movie, she takes the flyer, if you're familiar with the movie, the
Yeah,
flyer, for the Save the Clock Tower, and she
uh-huh.
writes her name and phone number because she gives that to Michael J. Fox 'cause she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be at my grandparents' house. Here's my number." She had the same flyer from the movie, and she wrote that same number on the
Oh,
back. I was, like, above I'm sorry, but I had to
so
say that.
cool.
I love that. That's, like, my pride and joy. I love it. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh my okay, so back to Shannon's point.
Yeah.
Okay, but yes, check mark, Back to the Future is, like, by far the
Love,
best movie
love
on
Back
on
to the
earth.
That before you go
But
on, that if you're learning wanna learn screenwriting, that
uh-huh,
is the perfect screenplay. Buy the screenplay or get it off a line and
yeah,
study how that screenplay is written and put together as far as story. It is perfect.
yeah,
You can't get
I'd
anything
believe it.
better than that. It is
Wow.
so well
But
written. Yes.
here's the thing. Do you know how many times that movie was freaking rejected before
Mhm.
somebody picked it up?
Yes, a lot. Only Steven Spielberg saw the potential in that. That's why he's like, "Yeah."
Freaking 40.
Yeah,
40 times at least that movie was rejected.
it was.
40
Or Star
times.
Wars. Star Wars was the same
Yeah,
thing. Star Wars was
exactly.
rejected by every studio, and he had to get his friend Francis Ford Coppola to help him out, you know, and get it in front of
Yeah,
the right people, and he got it in front of the right people and finally got the financing to do it because it was a crazy thing.
right.
It was a crazy story. It was like, there's spacemen, and there's this princess, and there's these lightsabers. What is this? Nobody
Yeah,
got it.
yeah,
Nobody understood it. And same thing with Back to
yeah,
the Future. They didn't get it. They were like, a car that's a time machine and it's a DeLorean? What is
yeah,
Didn't
and
get
they're like
didn't
time
get the humor.
machines,
The humor
time
in that movie
travel.
is so I still laugh at all the humor in that movie. That's why I say it's one of the best written scripts I've ever encountered. And it takes, somebody that knows film to recognize pure genius, and that's
Yeah.
why I love Steven Spielberg. He's like the only people that go, "Oh, I see the potential here. I know what you're doing. Let's do it.
Oh my gosh.
Let's do it."
Yes.
Anyway, I'm
Yes.
sorry. I'm like keep interrupting.
No, no, that's okay. This is awesome. But my point is like we get rejected so many times. And the fact that if you believe in your message, if you believe in what you're trying to do and you keep going, eventually it's going to get picked up. It's going to be seen. I know that in my heart. And I know that's going to happen for you too with this movie. And even if whatever happens, you don't make the mark with the Indiegogo campaign, which I'm hoping and praying that it does come to fruition because, with that, it would just be such a big help. But, you know, we might not have the following right now. We might not have the people who believe and see our vision for what it could be and what it is going to be. They might not see it right now. But what happens when the future comes and we keep chugging along like we're going to do because we're stubborn as hell? And guess what? It's going to be picked up whether we put it out there in the universe by ourselves, put it on the tubies and all the things. And then slowly but surely, people start clicking it, they start liking it, and then we get a following. And
Yep,
then all of a sudden, after we were rejected thousands
yep,
of times, nobody contributed in what we were envisioning.
yep,
Like we prove them all wrong.
right.
Like, and what I'm ultimately getting to the point of all this, Shannon explosion of thoughts is that
Dope.
is that we're gonna get there. And although whatever you can contribute to this campaign, it would mean the freaking world to not only me, the member of this project,
Yeah, 'cause she
but to
wants to get
Robert
paid, people.
himself,
She wants
the
to get paid.
creator.
Needs to get paid.
Of course, I would love to be paid. I want to break through the starving actor foundation.
I don't wanna
But
eat
s
pizza and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on a set. I don't want 'em to I wanna have some decent food. Yes.
exactly,
Yes.
decent food would
Yeah,
be
no
nice.
chips, no
Help me, I'm
Doritos,
poor.
none of that crap. I want some decent food. Yes.
Yes. But at the end of the day, like, we're gonna do this regardless, but with your contribution, even if it is just sharing this link or giving $1, whatever you can do, it would just be absolutely amazing to help us get to that goal. Because even if you can't see it right now, I promise you, we'll get there.
Well,
And then it's gonna be like the Back to the Future story. Yes, we were rejected 40
yeah,
plus times,
yeah.
but we
Well,
kept going,
I
and
want
now here
I
we are.
I really want people to understand this. You have an opportunity to get your name on a movie that's gonna be out. We're gonna we can't get a distributor until the movie's done, but we're gonna get this
Right.
out everywhere. I mean, it's gonna be out everywhere. And if this movie hits, you're gonna have your name on that.
Name
You
on it!
you could have your name on this movie, even if you're not directly involved in making the film, you still could have your name on it and get an IMDb credit. So you will live on with this movie. That's what's exciting
Yeah,
about film is that
that
now
is.
you'll have your name on this movie for posterity. I mean, it is going to be there for the life of the film beyond when you're here. you know,
Yeah,
the film
and
will live on, and of course if we do it right, it's going to be a much better film, but I am still going to make the best movie possible no matter what. And
absolutely.
again, this is an opportunity. Take it as one. And, it's just like I said, contribute what you can. If you can't, then, tell your friends and that are horror, fictionados and love
Yeah,
independent horror. And there's a lot of them out there. I know there are. And they're dying to see something that's, the next Terrifier or the next, you know, whatever, Friday 13th or Halloween. There's only so many movies that, you can see over and over again. I mean, those movies are doing sequels because there's no other they won't let other, films come in there. There's a lot of independent films that are much better than those movies, and they don't
right.
get the chance to get in front
Yeah,
of people. So, that's where your opportunity comes in. You gotta expand your horizon and not just keep, you know, going to the Hollywood movies. I'm not saying don't, but expand your horizons. Look at movies you probably would never look at. That's why I
yeah,
say go to Tubi. I'm telling you, out of the maybe the 3 or 4 movies that you might not like, there's might be the one gem that you might find in there and go, "Wow, I
yep,
missed that. That was a really good movie."
yeah,
It's that discovery. That's what's exciting to a horror fan because 'cause I'm a horror fan. If I discovered a movie that no one else knew about, that's exciting. And
yeah,
that's the possibilities that you can get with, delving, putting your toes in the independent film scene. There's a lot of good work there. A lot of good work, not just horror films. I'm talking about all all
yeah,
independent films are just really, really good.
and
Give it a
and
chance.
and
Just give it a chance. That's all, man.
j yeah, absolutely, and not just that, your horror film, it's completely different. There's a story there that
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen,
No. There hasn't been
and
a Jin
that
movie in a while, and that's what people have been saying. There was this movie called Wishmaster that was made in the '80s. They did like 3 or 4 films of those. But
yeah,
there hasn't been too many movies about Jin. And the thing that intrigued me about the movie for being a Jin is that there's people that believe that those are real, because it's part of a religion. And, it's like angels and all this other stuff. And that brings a lot different perspective. And me
mhm,
I've done a lot of research on it, and it's really intriguing. It's like, wow, I didn't know all this stuff about gin, and that's what drove me to the project.
yeah,
It's interesting, very, very interesting. It's not, like Shannon said, it's not your typical horror film. Yeah, there's horror stuff in there. It's you'll get scared and have fun, and it's gonna be a roller coaster ride. But a lot of stuff that's gonna be in the film is taking from real stuff. It's not made up, you know? There's a
And
lot of
that's the cool
literature
thing.
on it. It's that's why I was like, "Oh, I gotta put that in there. That's interesting because it's real.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
made up." And I'm like, "Wow, you can't make this stuff up. It's real. This is incredible." So that's
exactly.
why I wanted to make the film. That's where the popularity came from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Everybody thought it was a real thing. It wasn't.
Mhm.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was just used for propaganda. And, it might have been maybe based on something that happened, but it didn't actually happen. That's what they just did to sell it to you. And it's the same thing they did with Blair Witch Project. They tried to sell
Oh
you on the
god, I
fact that
hated
that
that
was
movie.
that. Well, so did I. But they they try the marketing in that movie is just brilliant. They try to get you that, oh, this is real footage. It was found footage. That was the beginning of the found footage movement, which I don't really like. That's just my
I
opinion.
don't
If you like that, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
I
You do you.
yeah, and I and that's another thing. I respect people's opinion. That's great. You might not like my work. You
Yeah.
might like my work, and that's fine. Um, but in the end, just think about, wow, if you have any, if you liked any aspect of the film and had to, just think of, contributing and say, look, yeah, maybe it wasn't the best film and maybe it's not my favorite film, but I like this about it and I like that. So yeah, I want to help them out. And
Yeah.
that's all we're asking. And we're not, we're,
Y
it's, that's the whole thing. You could still hate the movie, but still contribute and help us out. And you're not just helping me, you're helping a whole bunch of people, this, and Shannon. And that's just the way it is. It's not just one person, it's a whole bunch of people. And we've opened up our sets to people that want to learn about filmmaking. So it's not about,
Yeah,
hey, we want to get all these professionals in there. We want to give people a chance to learn the best way to learn filmmaking, and that's actually working on a practical set and getting real
absolutely.
time credits. You could have your name on the poster that's going to be around forever. It's going to be on the internet. It's going to be in all the advertising. Get your name on the poster, on the
So
IMDb,
cool.
on the movie itself. It's really cool perks, and some of the perks where you can actually visit the set while we're shooting and get
Oh, so cool.
and get a cameo in the film. So
Mhm.
how freaking cool is that?
That's freaking badass. As
I was
Johnny
like,
Lawrence would
we
say, it's badass.
we got to do that. So if you have the money to come in, and of course we can't fly you in, but if we were rich, we would. But we can't. You'd have to fly
One
yourself
day.
in. But the opportunity's there, um, and to get into the movie physically into the movie, not
Yeah,
just have credits. You actually be in the movie. So
freaking awesome.
we're trying to make it fun. We're trying to make it exciting for fans, and that's why I said we don't have a big fan base. And if you know people, you can't contribute, just tell people about it. And that's all that matters. You're just helping us out. Just, hey, I've heard about this really cool project, and should check it out. That's it.
Yeah,
At
and
the end of the
by
day.
the way, I will just say this, for actors, getting an IMDb credit is huge.
It is.
So
It is.
you're like doubling, like stepping over stepping stones, because when I first started in acting, I was like, "Well, how do I get an IMDb credit?" Like, I don't even know. Yes, you have to just be on a set or production, but you don't even have to be there. I mean, that to me, that would have been like, "Oh my god, I'm doing it." I'm
Yeah.
doing it. I don't care.
No.
I don't care if I'm not like legit acting on it, but just having that credit alone is so cool.
Yeah.
Like that, because you're a part of the team.
Yeah.
At that point, you are officially a part of the dream team. And teamwork, my friend, it makes the dream work, and we can't do it without you.
Teamwork makes
Okay.
the dream work. I love that. I gotta put that on a t-shirt. That's the
You
Shannon's, like, incredible, brain making that up. That's so cool.
Well, I thought I made it up, but I looked it up the other day. I might not have made it up. I forget his name, but somebody else said it, and I don't know when, but I have not heard it.
No,
In my
I
mind,
haven't
I
heard it.
know I made it up before I heard it. So we both,
Yeah.
in my mind,
No, that's
whoever,
it just
was quoted.
it goes along with everything that we're doing, and that's I
Yeah.
can't really say it any better than that. Like,
I think so.
Shannon
And,
just came out with that, and I was like, "What? That's awesome." So funny. Oh, man.
That's me. That's me in a nutshell. You know
Yep.
this, Robert.
Yes.
Um, and I mean, how perfect is it? Because with the title of Wish, like,
Yeah.
what would be our biggest wish right now if you were to open up that that bottle and ask the gin, like, what would your wish be? It would be to, get this movie funded. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we can't do it without your help.
Right.
And anything you can do, share, grab a perk, grab your IMDb credit,
Yeah.
and just know that we appreciate you so
Yeah,
freaking
just,
much for all you do.
$10. I mean, you see these, political campaigns just asking for $10. For $10, you can get your name in the movie. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
pretty
and I
cool.
mean, you go I'm not saying that you specifically go to, like, Starbucks or whatever, but you go somewhere, right? And you get these little things like a
Lattes, at least 8
coffee and
bucks.
a
Yeah.
nice tasty little drink or a snack. That adds up to $10 really quick. So, just think about that. It's like it's
Well, it's
nothing.
like I have
Mm,
5,000 followers on Facebook. Everyone
yeah.
single person put in $10 of those
Oh,
5,000. I
man.
know those 5,000 don't get everything because that's the way Facebook works, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if they all contributed, there's 50 grand.
It would be so
That would be great.
awesome.
That would be
So
and that's just
awesome.
$10. So, that's all we're asking, and that's what crowdfunding is all about, and it's supposed to be like a group effort, and, we're all part of the same team, and if you wanna be a part of the team, you can. It's great. It's incredible. You get to follow everything that we're doing. I'm gonna give constant updates on the Indiegogo campaign. You get an email and everything that's going on with the film, you get a direct email from me, and,
Cool.
explaining what's going on in the film. So you're really part of the filmmaking process. And like I said, a lot of it's not glamorous, but it's interesting, at least to me. The whole process of everything. So if anybody is looking to become a filmmaker and really want to follow along our process, because every process of making a film is different, but
Yeah.
this is our process, and you'll get ideas and maybe inspiration to make your own films and do the
Yeah.
same thing. So
Uh,
that's what we're all about. We're not in it to be rich or try to scam people. We generally love film and the making of film and the art of filmmaking, and that's what we're all about.
yeah.
Like I said, $100,000, it seems like a lot of money, and it is, but it's just not just the tip of the iceberg when you're trying to make movies. It's very, very expensive when you add in all that stuff. And I know I keep saying this, but that's what it's all about. And like I said, we've done everything no budget. So we've skimmed, we haven't been able to make the movies that we really wanted to make because
Yeah.
we just, that's why if you watch my movies, you'll see my apartment like in 3 movies because I don't have any other locations. I'm just using my apartment because it's readily available. So it's that type of thing. So that's what we're just trying to overcome. And and maybe we don't get the money, but if we get the movie done and out there, on the next one, people are gonna really take I think gonna like stand up and go, "Oh, wow,
Yeah.
they did that. Okay. With very limited budget. Okay. I like that. What are they gonna be up to next?"
That's right.
And you would have been a part of it already. Now you're gonna get on the train, on the
That's
independent
right.
train, and here we go. Chugga 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 chugga. It's
Choo-choo.
gonna be a ride, people. Come on, get on board. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be
Yes, and I will be doing my best to get the behind the scenes content on everything we do.
yeah,
So, that's going to be epic. I do like taking the behind the scenes stuff
you know.
for us, Robert. I do
We
enjoy
do
that.
have
It's fun.
we just released the behind the scenes for Wish for the short film that we did. That's on YouTube. People are checking
Yeah, it's
it out.
really fun.
It's fun to watch that. But you can get an idea of how our sets are. It's just, nothing big. It's
Laid
just a
back,
bunch
cool
of people
people
making a
just
movie.
making
That's it.
art,
Yeah, it's just
making
making art.
movies, having
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
So, before we wrap up, where can they go to make their donations? Of course, I will drop the link below, but
Yeah.
just so they know,
It's
like if you were to say.
yeah, just you can go on Indiegogo .com, type in Wish feature horror film and it'll come up. You'll see a blue background with this really cool creature. But I can't remember the whole address because it's a little long and everything. But just go on to Indiegogo or go to fearfilm.com. I got a link on the homepage that goes directly to the Indiegogo campaign. You can check it out, check out the perks, and find one that's right for you. And like I said, if you can't, then copy the link and put it on your Facebook page and tell all your horror fans that hey, there's this great new movie coming about and you can be a part of it.
That's right. And which platform, like social media wise, like if they wanted to be a part of it more and learn about like the updates and just be more connected with you, which one would it be? Would it be
Yeah,
Facebook
they
or?
can go to my Facebook page, which is under Robert Massetti, and Wish has its own Facebook page, which I think is Wish Horror Film, because we couldn't get the just Wish on there. But anyway, all those links and everything are on fearfilm.com, so you can find anything you want as far as what we're doing. Just go to fearfilm.com. It's a lot easier. But yeah,
Awesome.
you can follow us on all our social media. We're on Instagram. We just got on TikTok. We're on YouTube, of course. Follow us on our YouTube page. Subscribe.
I swear to God. I don't know if we got like kicked off or like if it even,
They're
I
like,
don't know.
enough's enough. That's it.
Ah! Technology. Why do you curse me so? Oh, snap. Okay, so even though we got kicked off our chitty chat call here just a few seconds ago, we are back.
We are back.
Hopefully the recording
It's
saved
still,
from the previous one
it's,
and you
it
guys are
says it's
still with us.
still, yeah, it's
But
still recording. Yeah.
but
Might have to do
but
some editing. That's all.
oh, that's fine. That's what we do. We're editors.
I need a,
Um
I need a
but
knife or
but
something here. I don't know.
But it was meant to happen because guess what, everybody? Robert got something in the mail. What'd you get, Robert?
Oh, I got the posters for Wish here. I am unboxing them now if I can get it open.
Oh, snap! Our first unboxing episode ever. Okay.
Oh,
Go-
oh,
oh,
oh, look at the blue.
oh, that's
Yeah, now these
nice.
are
Okay.
24 by 36 posters. They're big.
Oh my gosh. Open that bad boy up right now. I gotta see. Oh, so cool. That is awesome. Man. And you did all the artwork for that, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
He is, you guys, Robert is so freaking talented. And I'm just really excited for his feature to get made because he's just been working so hard on this. And I believe in people's wishes coming true. No pun intended. Wish. But seriously, I might be cheesy. Okay, that's evident. I'm a magical unicorn that's full of cheese. But I believe in wishes coming true, as cheesy as it sounds, and especially for people who work so hard at it and continue following their dreams and their passions and just anything you can do to help make his wish come true. I cannot say thank you enough because it would, I know it will mean a lot to me and it'll mean a lot to Robert. So thank you for all you do. Thank you for being here with us. Yes. Share this episode. Go donate what you can. Share the links. Share. And thank you so much for being with us today, Robert. You're awesome.
Yes. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, anytime. Of course. Can't wait till next time. Okay. Well, you get going. Have a great day, and we'll catch you next time.